we're back again with another episode of this IMP UHC, and we're starting off here with Ernbob, who has managed to find himself a desert temple, which he has currently raided and is now on the way to exit. Moving up to the surface, however, we do hear a skeleton, so it is necessary to be a little bit cautious. We see here Ernbob not taking any chances. He is going to make a very careful way out here, blocking off the path so that he can make his way out, maybe going for the side of the temple, or potentially going right out. It certainly looks like it. The skeleton right over there keeping an eye on him while he's breaking out through the side and making a beeline away from it. He's gotten the loot, there's no reason to stick around this place. Now's the time to find himself a friend. And over here we have Dustin, who has managed to get himself out of the nether and is currently gathering more obsidian. It would suggest that he is going for enchantments now. And he has potions. He should be in a good situation. Now if he can only manage to find himself a friend, he might be in business. Now hopping over to Paul here, we have had a little bit of a stroke of luck because Paul has managed to find himself diamonds. However, Roses also has thorns. He has managed to find some lava behind it as well. Be careful, Paul, when you approach these diamonds. Be very careful because lava does hurt quite a lot. So get yourself those diamonds and get away before you get yourself singed. And there we go, we have Dustin showing off his achievements here, using the opportunity to wave his gains around a little bit, showing the others that he has managed to go to the nether and getting everything. He has managed to keep himself from getting the achievements before, but is now purposely telling others, hey, I've been to the nether and I have gotten the stuff that is needed for potions, be scared of me, trying to intimidate the others into not getting into combat with him, or perhaps making himself interesting for another team to join with. While Cheese here is cooking himself up some things and enchanting himself up, doing a little bit of combining to get his gear better. We'll see how well equipped he can manage to get himself before he has to go and find himself a friend. And over here by Piegon we are also making ourselves ready, getting ourselves enchanted up. 2 pieces of armor at a time, no reason to get completely undressed, and we can see here that Pie has moved himself at least a little bit away from the border, nowhere near the border anymore. He's not taking the chance of forgetting the time and ending up in a situation where he gets trapped underground. Team Teal has made their way down to the bottom of the world though, down to a lava pool where they are currently mining for resources. Most likely trying to find themselves the diamonds to get enchanted, but because we can see here none of them has any enchantments on their gear yet, so they're definitely not quite there yet, but hopefully they will be able to find the diamonds that they need very soon. And there we have it, Yellow Team has managed to find themselves diamonds as well, as we can see in the chat here. A good thing for them. Now they can get themselves armored up as well. And here we have them, down at the bottom of the world as well, going through the lava lakes, trying to find themselves the diamonds. It won't be long before we see these guys shining as well, and we'll have another team ready for combat. And just as we say that, we have another team join up, because Team Red is now formed. Ernbob and Deepact joining forces. Hopefully they will be able to pose a threat to others. They have managed to get themselves both situated before they met up and formed their team, so they should be in a decent spot. We'll have to see how they perform as the battle rages on. Hopping over to Team Purple, we are down underground and there is a bit of monsters here. But be careful guys, don't be overconfident. Jackarou here taking a measured approach, hitting and retreating when he's fighting the creeper rather than just rushing in. A wise way of fighting a creeper, because even the slightest bit of explosion damage will accumulate and eventually knock down your health. We've seen it before in another season that just taking a little bit of explosion damage just does drop down your health just a tiny bit, and technically takes away the Iron Man from you as well, which apparently is something that some people playing these things care about. I do not understand it. To me, winning the game would be more important than having the most health the longest time. It seems like a silly competition to do, and potentially something that would harm you in that you would waste too much time just to try and keep your health up. We've managed to find ourselves a ravine here, but Jackarou is making a slow, cautious approach, digging himself a stairway down so he can attack the ravine in a manner that he feels most safe about. Be careful though, Jackarou, there is monsters around in this ravine. No doubt he can already hear the skeleton out there, waiting for him to poke his head through. Hopefully, Jackarou will be able to see him before he gets pelted with an arrow. Yep, he manages to see him, closes off the pathway, and are now deciding to go a little bit further to attack the feetsies and see if he can take out the skeleton without getting any damage on himself. Hitting and retreating. And one more should do. There we go. It would now be at least semi-safe to enter the ravine. No doubt we'll see him do that, but while he is taking care of that, let's check out his teammate. Pink is still up at the place where he was setting up for enchantment before, looking at us here as though he almost knows that we are watching him. A little bit spooky perhaps. Maybe he will join Jackarou in a moment. It looks like Team Purple is quite close to being ready for combat. Let's hop over to Team Yellow. They are currently exploring a ravine as well. Perhaps still the same ravine as before? We do not know quite if it is, but they are certainly making their way through it in a little bit of a cautious manner, not wanting to accidentally get themselves damaged too much. But they have decided to split up, unlike Team Green here, who is still together. They are down in a ravine as well, gathering the last bit of resources, maybe before they head to the surface. Oh, Ravine, you're missing some iron here. And over by Mr. Cave, we are back on the surface again. And surprisingly enough, we are unenchanted. Dangerous to be back on the surface without enchantments so soon. But at least the earlier in the game you do that, the safer you are. Maybe he is hoping to find a friend who has an enchantment table, or he is simply waiting until he finds a friend before he makes the enchantment table so that they can save the diamonds in case they are not needing to make a duplicate of the table. Over by Dangers here, we are back on the surface as well, and Dangers has managed to find himself enough diamonds to make himself a diamond chest plate. However, he hasn't been lucky enough to find himself a teammate yet, so he is all alone here. But who knows, it might just be that he is able to find someone, perhaps Cave, who's also running around on the surface at the moment. We never know, maybe they will be able to team up. It doesn't look like that anyone is around in the immediate area though. Just be careful when you're standing there crafting. Don't want to expose your back to the monsters. We see here Paul, he is down at the bottom of the world and there's a lot of lava around, so be careful when you're digging. Don't accidentally dig into the lava. Although we're lucky here, he is approaching the lava from above rather than ahead or below, and manages to get himself on top where he can start looking for perhaps some more diamonds. It might just be that he's still needing a couple of diamonds to make the table proper. And while he's doing that, let's hop over to Dustin, who is making his way down underground again in a new area perhaps. It doesn't look like there's any torches down here, So it might just be that he has moved a little bit away and is trying a new area to see if he can find more resources before he sets out into the combat. Hopping over to Team Teal, we see Yoruta here still unenchanted, surprisingly enough. Though it wouldn't be so surprising to me if they actually do have the resources to do it now. And they're just delaying a little bit before they meet up and get themselves sorted before going back on the surface and fighting the other teams. However, I am wondering what is actually up with Yoruta's teammate, so we are going to hop right over there and see what is going on in the world of Danny. Danny has put himself underground here. He is sitting in a little bit of a bunker fighting monsters, potentially having angered an enderman, but fighting a creeper at the moment. Be very careful, Danny. If you have angered that enderman, it might just come for you unless Yoruta can take it out. But even then, there's more monsters about on here. Peeking his head over the edge causes monsters to swarm towards him. 2 skeletons and a creeper with another one in the background. Be careful. You are a little bit stuck, but it might just be that Yoruta can come to your rescue and help you out of there. Hopefully he will come and help, because those skeletons are not looking like they are going to put up a fight. Oh, and there he comes, taking them out from behind while they are distracted. Good teamwork, guys. We'll be ready soon. Careful though, we know that there's a creeper right around this corner. And it has seen you. Oh, I hope that they did not get strafed by that explosion. However, another skeleton joins the combat and Yoruta takes an arrow to the thigh. And the crotch. That's gonna sting. By 1,000 to 1 chance, the arrow didn't in fact enter your body. No, your willy got in the way. Now hopping back over to Pie here. We are down underground still gathering more resources. Hopefully Pie has managed to get himself far enough away from the border that he is not at danger of getting trapped, because it is getting quite close to the end of this episode, where the border is going to start coming towards you at a dangerous rate. Hopping over to Team Yellow here, we're still down at the bottom of the earth, currently seeming to get themselves enchanted and cooking up the last of their resources, perhaps making themselves ready for the combat to come. And over by Team Red, we are on the surface. And Bob here, running up, angering the creepers, before continuing along the path. Now, we are a team here who has managed to get themselves situated enough to actually be able to start the fighting, which means that the surface is no longer safe. With a team of 2, there's no reason why you wouldn't attack a solo person, because you cannot join with them anymore, and leaving them about will only allow them to join with someone else and potentially become a bigger threat later, so better take them out while you have the benefit of being 2 against 1. Deepak here has managed to find himself a horse. Now, horses is notoriously a little bit laggy in Minecraft, or at least has been, but they are allowed in this version of the UHC, so there's nothing wrong with riding this horse here. He seems to have managed to find himself a good one, but that is where we are going to leave off this episode, because it has come to an end. A lot of damage on some people, Deepak here not in the best of shape, but they might just be able to pull through. We'll have to see in the next episode. Still no one dead. We'll see you again next time.